Hey guys, Zangus, and today I'm going to talk to you about improving your lighting. So quite frankly, when I started YouTube and I looked up tutorials and helpful tips and videos on lighting, I actually ignored them because I didn't think they were very helpful. But after doing YouTube videos for over 5 years, I definitely have to say lighting is actually crucial. Now, to quite a lot of unexperienced people, they're going to assume straight away that lighting requires high quality kit and expensive kit, and that is completely untrue. And I'm going to show you how to get better lighting for literally just £15, and it's one light. So literally for £15 you can go on Amazon or eBay and you can find a DSLR light. You can also find just a quick unboxing of that, but I'm not going to do a separate video of it. And for £15 I got a full 160 LED light that attaches via a shoe mount, and that also comes with other accessories like lens covers, so you can change the cover of it, and I'll show you that later as well. So usually I have quite a lot of accessible and changeable lights, so I've deliberately made my room a little bit darker. I haven't actually lowered the sensitivity, I've just angled all of the lights away from the camera so it looks a little bit darker, and that is why the background looks a little bit darker. And what I'm going to do is compare to this and also using with a £15 light. So of course this is what it's just looking like with your average lights in your room, but these are all specifically aimed away from the camera. So now this is what it looks like with the light on, and it's on full blast, but what I've done is I've angled it and tilted it specially so it is bouncing off the ceiling, and therefore it's coming onto my face, and it's not directly shining straight into my face because that will look a little bit less unnatural, and also it fills the room as well. So this is what it looks like now with the light shining straight into my face, and that is now also attached to the same shoe mount on my camera, and you may notice that it looks a little bit glary and also it looks a little bit too white, and that is also why we have the filters as well. So this is what it looks like with just a white cover, and pretty much it's basically transparent, but it makes it a little bit less bright, but also it spreads it out more and it looks a little bit more natural. So this is what it now looks like with the pink filter, and of course you may notice that my skin is a little bit pinker and redder, but to be honest you may find that that's better, but to be honest that's your opinion. So now I'm using the orange filter, and I think this is my personal favourite because I do a lot of videos that I show my face, and of course that is mostly my movie reviews, and of course because it's making my skin more orange it looks more natural because it's closest to white. Of course the white filter is fine, but I think I prefer this because it makes my skin stand up more, and I think it just makes it look more natural overall, and I think it's impressive that it comes with these lenses and also these covers as well for just £15. So now I've changed the lighting again, and you'll notice that there's quite a lot of shadows on my face. So now all I've done is I've just turned on the LED light on the shoe mount of my camera, and you can see that it makes a difference when it comes down to the lighting on my face. So now all I've done is I've just turned on the LED light on the shoe mount of my camera, and you can see that it makes a difference when it comes down to the lighting on my face. So what I've done now is I've pretty much reverted back to the original lighting from a ceiling light, and I haven't added or included any of the lights from any of the LED lights that I've been talking about. So here I've got the LED light, and you can see that when it goes on full power it can actually get ridiculously bright, and unfortunately it does actually require 6 AA batteries, but to be honest I think this is a really good idea because it allows to get as much power as it can, and I think it's quite sensible as well because it can make it really bright. So to be honest this is probably the best I can get, and I really think that it's worth getting because if you have bad lighting then it just looks dark, and when you have a dark video it really destroys the video quality because there's less pixels that can be lit up, and because of that your video just doesn't look as vibrant as it could be, and to be honest I think it just looks much worse if it's darker. Obviously in films and TV shows and stuff it's used for effect, but when it comes down to sort of, for example, just talking or when it's just showing your face, I think it's very important to have it well lit. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need good kit, as I've just shown you that just having a £15 light can actually really increase the lighting, and you really don't need any experience because this just sits on your camera and you don't need to worry about having other extra lights. Just a ceiling light that can be changed is good enough, and the actual final result is, I think, brilliant. It really shows how simple it is. I'll also do another video on editing as well, and that can be amazingly effective as well. So if you are thinking about getting an LED light for your DSLR or just camera that has a shoe mount, then I'd highly recommend it because it seems to make a huge improvement, and I really do think that lighting just generally helps a video just look better and look more professional and more natural. Of course, if you do have quite rubbish light in your ceiling, then I'd highly recommend that you just get better lights and get lights that can be changed or that can be angled better, because it helps a lot, and just changing the angle of the lights in my room makes a huge difference as well. Okay, so here's just a simple scenario. So obviously we have an object here with loads of different lighting conditions. As you can see, that it makes a really big difference. So of course, if this video did help you, then be sure to give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. Carl Casper, and it basically ruins his life, and he quits his job because he's got such a bad review and everyone's against him. And then from that he decides that he's going to get a truck, and he wants to start his own food, and he wants to have his own food truck where he travels around.